Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. Today we've got something fun to talk about regarding Nexomon 3, and yes, that's right, Nexomon 3 is a thing. I know technically there hasn't been any promotional material for the title yet since its early development, and since Nexomon 2's life cycle isn't over yet, but the end of Nexomon 2 does confirm Nexomon 3, and furthermore, the dev's been talking about it quite a bit, actually, in the Discord for the past several months. I do have an everything we know about Nexomon 3 video planned, so definitely stay tuned for that, but for now, let's get into today's topic, which is some Nexomon 3 news, that being that the developer, Jay, is looking for some input regarding the new elemental system and how further complexity could be added to it, and the way they're going about this is actually really cool and kind of reminds me of SMT. Anyways, I'm gonna read the Discord post. We're reviewing the elemental types for Nexomon 3's roster. This is your chance to suggest changes to the available elements for the sequel. Number 1, I am keen on exploring some kind of affinity approach. Say, I think Noki looks like he could have 80% water affinity and 60% wind, and maybe some percentage of another thing. Said values could affect stab and resistances. This would be our answer to the dual typed requests. Many or most Nexomon wouldn't be labeled as a specific element, and this could help if Nexomon 3 gets a little more RPG-ish / elaborate. 2, honestly, I don't like non-elemental traits such as fighting or flying. Sounds like bootleg normal and wind. 3, with the affinity approach, I feel like normal wouldn't really need to be a thing anymore. There wouldn't be some kind of neutral type, and I sort of feel like this would actually be a good thing. And number 4, I also don't see much of a point in derived types. Ice feels like it would be fine as water, steel as mineral, bug as maybe either plant or mineral or wind, etc. So like it was stated, each Nexomon would have various affinities at various values, making each more unique. Noki, like used in the example here, would have 80% water affinity, which would presumably affect how much power it gets from the same type attack bonus and how much damage it takes as a result of both its weaknesses and resistances due to that typing. So something with a 90% water affinity, for example, would presumably get 10% more out of the stab bonus, but also be 10% more susceptible to super effective damage and 10% more resistant to not very effective damage. I think this is really cool and adds a much needed layer of complexity to the battle system whilst also keeping the game unique from other titles in the genre. I can really get behind a system like this, and it's got me thinking about the potential elemental affinities as well. I actually did post here myself, and I'll read off what I wrote, and you guys could let me know if you think it's interesting or not. So firstly, I was responding to Ryder, the Tyrant of Time, whom suggested an artificial type which would incorporate both mechanical and essentially biomechanical life forms, and I said this: I agree with this. Tech or artificial type could include machines, yes, but also think about Dragon Ball Z for a second. Cell is also technically a bio-android and would fall into this category. Then regarding some of my own ideas, I said the following. Plasma could be like a poison or venom or ectoplasm or radiation type. And then I had a few other types here that I think are less likely but could still exist. You could have a light / holy type, but like the developer said, I can't think of a huge amount of monsters using this, maybe elves, fairies, etc. But light can also mesh into electric, plant, and psychic depending on the Nexomon. For example, the light bulb Nexomon, which is a thing, would be electric. A fairy could be plant or wind since it's a nature being. Some sort of deity to represent like light and holiness could also just be psychic because they're utilizing magic. I was also thinking cosmic / spatial could be a thing. There could be more alien-like Nexomon utilizing techniques related to space and time and cosmic energy. This could also fall into mineral and psychic though, because for example, summoning a meteor is already an attack, which is mineral type, and cosmic energy could be related to magic, which also relates to psychic. So while I'm not super sold on my latter two ideas, as they could be worked into other typings, I do think a plasma or poison or infectious type could exist as well, because you could put poison into like the plant type, kind of like what they're doing now, but it's definitely a little awkward since poison and radiation and stuff like that actually kills life and plants, and this affinity could further represent plasma as a whole, which is an element that is prevalent in space. You could also get some really cool aliens out of it too. But I'm going to leave the Nexomon Discord linked below so you guys can also pitch your ideas in the Elements channel under Nexomon 3 Roadmap. Also, do note, as Jay stated in their initial post, we are reviewing the elements, and I am keen on exploring some kind of affinity approach. This doesn't mean this is exactly how it's going to be come the final product. Things can change. So just do know that this isn't a 100% confirmation that this is how types are going to work We just know that Jay's looking to expand the way types work and add some complexity to the system itself, and is looking for suggestions. But yeah, I'd say pretty short yet very interesting video today. This is further reason to be hyped for the distant future and the future of the genre in general. Let me know in the comments which types you think could make sense for the affinity system and what you'd like to see appear in Nexomon 3. And if you love Nexomon or the monster taming genre in general, definitely subscribe to the channel because I put out monster taming videos every single day. You could also check out my Twitter, Discord, and Patreon, which will all be linked below. Special thanks to my patrons, especially Jim Hamilton and StealCase. And with all that, we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.